Hi, my name is Brad. The craziest thing that ever happened has been happening to me, my friends, and my family. Like, it is insane stuff. This is day 29 of me telling the story of what has happened. It's supernatural stuff. I've, if you haven't watched any of my videos before, I am an expert in dimethyltryptamine, or DMT, which is the most powerful psychedelic on the planet. I've done it almost 1,000 times. I have researched this thousands of hours. I've been completely consumed with it and understanding it. And I've made some real breakthroughs in understanding what it is and how it works. And it is not anything like we ever thought. It is so much bigger than that. It acts as a psychedelic, as like a decoy, is what it feels like. So it is the DMT isn't naturally in every living thing, and we've come to understand that is the mechanism that allows us to connect with what is called consciousness, and consciousness connects everything. This is something that has been talked about as a fringe science for a long time, and is going to prove to be an incredible, it's going to be incredibly important for our understanding of how humanity and this reality works. And those, you're hearing more and more people talk about it now. But DMT is how we do it. It's how we connect to it. So what's interesting about it, though, is that you're always producing it in trace amounts. But when you consume it, it turns into this wild psychedelic experience. It's just incredible, but it feels like you've weirdly familiar. It's wild, absolutely wild. And the beings that you interact with, you feel like you've known them forever, and they know everything about you. And then from person to person, like completely unrelated people will have consistent interactions with entities. But I've been telling the stories. I'm going on my 40-day water only fast. This is day 29. I'm down 38.5 pounds for people who care. I'm not doing it for weight loss. I'm doing this so you'll take me seriously. What I'm saying is crazy, but it's real. This is not there is no hyperbole. There's no filter. This is completely what we would have experienced. This is not just me. This is multiple people. I understand what is causing this to happen, and I can show people how to do it. I can take somebody, I think it took me an obscure knowledge base, a lot of study, and a lot of experience to figure this out. I can take somebody, I've shown people how to get there from never doing it to there in a week. And it's not a technique, it's an understanding, which is the crazy part. But the moment you understand it, then it's like flips a switch, and it's no longer a psychedelic. It shifts. The psychedelic part is still kind of there, but it turns into a tool to access a different dimension of our reality. This has been happening to us for the last 8 months. Like I said, I know exactly what happens and how this is happening and what is happening, and also why it is happening. But the beings that we're dealing with are not DMT entities like you would normally see. We are talking more Book of Enoch types of things. Very, very esoteric. If you want to know where the truth lies, the hippies have had the knowledge for a long time, but the Rosicrucians have had it even longer. Go see my other videos. These beings have been guiding us to this incredible stuff. So I want to take a moment and just kind of talk through some of what these beings are and how they're different. So these beings are showing up almost every time, completely consistent. They know everything about you. They would know this is an hallucination that just completely replays itself. They know what you talked about yesterday, and they know what I talked about today. They know what you're learning. They basically can hear what you hear. Some of our people can see their beings while on DMT. Some of them can hear them while not. Like I said the other day, imagine being in church and listening to a sermon and having a biblical era angel, whatever you want to call it, being in your mind telling you that what the pastor just said, actually that didn't happen that way. That's not even close. And giving you the actual real answer. Can you imagine what that's like? That's the kind of stuff we're talking about. For some people, this is stronger of a stronger things are happening based on some previous experiences that they've dealt with, like NDEs, near-death experiences. We have a guy in our group who had actually had a lot of them. Incredible story. That has allowed his interactions to be just wild. Some of the bigger things are coming through that person. And we talked Book of Enoch. Some of these are biblical angels. Archangel Michael, as crazy as that sounds, is one of them, is the most consistent, and they all kind of, if they're all talking at once, they'll all stop talking when he talks. It's crazy. You can feel them. I have felt them touch me. I have touched them, physically touched. You feel that. I had a night where Gaia shows up and literally physically holds me outside of my puffy coat. It's cold outside, a puffy coat jacket, and I can feel her touch, and then I can watch it manipulate my coat. The most incredible experiences. Like, so I was at my friend's house. Um, Everybody has a certain number of guides. I have 2 of the 4 that I will have, we get that information from these guides of how this all plays out. Other people's guides have offered to help work and heal some of the things on me in the past. I've sat down completely sober, sat there and felt these sensations moving under my skin, all over my body, and it feels incredible, but I can't explain it. Other people, I've seen swings where other people's entities are saying they're sitting. That is not windy at all, and that swing is swinging. These aren't my entities. I can't always see theirs, but that does happen too. Michael has shown up to multiple people now, in their experiences. Had conversations with them. Some of them are other people from Solgers. Some of them are teaching. They're teaching us things. So I had a friend. I didn't talk to him about. I showed him what to do and how to get there. I didn't talk to him about any of the esoteric things that we have learned. These beings have been showing us nothing about reincarnation and how any of that stuff works, or what the ascension is, what a starseed is, any of that stuff. Nothing. He calls me and he's like, "Hey man, have you heard about past lives?" I just have to laugh because yes, but that's just more validation from our experiences to show. I didn't tell him anything about that. We're talking about a strong Christian now, talking about like, hey, have you heard about this concept? Absolutely. I'm not even teaching. I'm just kind of letting it organically. And actually, I tried to teach him some things, but his guides in the back of his mind are saying to tell me to shut up. That's his journey. He needs to learn those things on his own. I can't give him a cheat sheet. So, this is so positive. There's so much love that comes from these beings. They are pointing us in directions, and they're showing us hidden truths. They're passing along scientific equations that might literally change the world if we can find the right people to assess them. Some of them are big, some of them are little. Some of them, we have met a reptilian who is always around. His story is fascinating, like real fascinating. But I'll save some of those because they get wild. And if you're going to think I'm a Looney Tune until some of this stuff's going to start proving itself out. What's happening in the world is going to start moving. Stuff we're talking about, stuff that these channels are talking about. It's all going to start happening just in divine timing. And then as those things happen, you're going to come back to these things I've been saying, and be like, oh my God, he was not crazy. He was legit. So I hope it gives you a little bit of insight of kind of what we're dealing with. They're not DMT entities. These are celestial beings, and it's fascinating. But join me tomorrow. I'll tell you some more. I'm not sure what it is yet. I'll figure that out when I start right then tomorrow. Sorry. See ya.